Using an Instant Pot to make hard-boiled eggs is so simple, and they're so easy to peel. People often ask me what I use my Instant Pot for, whether these are people who don't have one and they're unconvinced of the merits of having one, or they're people that have one and they either don't use it or they're scared of using it. They need ideas for how to use it. And I definitely think you can live without an Instant Pot. I'm by no means saying that this is something you need to have in your kitchen, but it is a handy tool to have. And I got on the bandwagon with it a few years ago at Black Friday. There was a really good sale. And so I bought one and I thought it was going to change my life. It didn't. But it is a handy tool. And I do like to use it for helping me prepare things that make meal prep later easier. So if you haven't seen my video about how I cook a bulk batch of ground beef in my Instant Pot, I'll leave a link for that at the end of this video. Today I want to talk about how to cook hard-boiled eggs in your Instant Pot. It's very simple and they peel so easily. That is really the magic of cooking it in an Instant Pot rather than doing it on the stovetop. My husband loves hard-boiled eggs, egg salad sandwiches, and he'd always ask me to make them. And every once in a while I would actually do it. But when I'd get down to peeling them, it was such a pain. And the eggs would look horrible by the time I'd finish peeling them because I'd take parts of the egg off with that shell, and it took forever. Instant Pot eggs, somehow the peel just sort of slips off of them, and it's so quick, so easy. So we do eat hard-boiled eggs a lot more often than we used to. I'm gonna show you how to do it, and really all you need to remember is 3 numbers, and they're the same numbers, so this shouldn't be too hard. You just need to remember what that number is. 555. 5 minutes of cook time at pressure, 5 minutes of a natural pressure release, and then 5 minutes of sitting in an ice water bath. That's it. So I'm just gonna show you, demonstrate how quick and easy this is. My Instant Pot is plugged in. I'm gonna take the lid off. Make sure that your sealing ring is inserted properly and that it's not, hanging off of the ring in here that holds it in place. Then all I'm gonna do is put a cup of water in the Instant Pot. Then I'm gonna put in the trivet that came with the Instant Pot. You don't need a special insert for your pot to cook eggs in. I know I've seen silicone egg holders that sit inside the pot here. You don't need that. Just use the trivet that came with your Instant Pot. And then you're gonna load eggs into here. So I'm just gonna set them in a single layer. I'm not sure if you can do multiple layers or not. You could try it and let me know if it works. I fit 12 eggs in here, and that's usually a good amount for us. We'll make a meal of egg salad sandwiches for lunch, and then we have a few extra that we can just have in the fridge for snacks. I'm gonna make sure that this vent is set to sealing, not venting, and then I'm going to do a manual time of 5 minutes, and that's the last thing I cooked in here, so it's already set for 5 minutes, and I'll let it cook and walk away. My 5-minute timer is done, and now it's starting to count upwards because it's in a keep warm cycle, and it's just counting the amount of minutes since your cook time has expired. So I'm gonna wait until it says 5 minutes on the display, and then I'm going to release the pressure with this steam release valve. When you are cooking with an Instant Pot, I just wanna mention that when I said you're cooking the eggs for 5 minutes, it doesn't mean that it's 5 minutes from start to finish. Instant Pot always needs time to come up to pressure. Once it's pressurized, that's when your timer actually starts counting down. So I think it took about 5 minutes for the Instant Pot to come to pressure, and then it counted down the 5 minutes of cook time that I set. Now we're waiting 5 minutes, and then I'm going to release that pressure, like I said. So when I am waiting for that 5 minutes to count up, I do always like to set a timer in my kitchen that's gonna beep at me when 5 minutes has passed, because this is not going to beep, and you don't want to leave them for longer than 5 minutes. Otherwise, you're gonna end up with overcooked eggs, gray yolks, and that is not appetizing. So set a 5-minute timer so that you can come and release this pressure immediately once the 5 minutes has passed. During that time, when I'm waiting to release the pressure, I get an ice bath ready for the eggs. So I'm gonna put ice in this bowl, then I'm gonna put cold water in it, and then I'm going to put the eggs in it. Make sure that when you put the water in here, you don't overfill it, because the eggs, when you put them in the bowl, are obviously going to displace the water, and you don't want to overflow your bowl. So I'm going to get the ice now. In 5 minutes, I'm going to release this pressure now. Keep your hand away from the top here, or you will get a steam burn. The float valve dropped down, so I know that it's safe to remove the lid from my Instant Pot. And now I want to move these eggs into the ice bath as quickly as possible. The point of the ice bath is just to stop that cooking process. We don't want the yolks to overcook, and we don't want gray yolks, because that's really not appetizing. So get these into the water as quick as you can. If you have a shell that's cracked open, doesn't matter. Shove it in the cold water. You can cut that egg up and use it just like you would a shell that didn't crack. I've got one that really split open here, so I'll show you what I'm talking about. Just put it in the water, it's fine. Okay, so now I'm going to set another 5-minute timer for these to cool off, and then I can take them out and peel them. My 5-minute timer for cooling my eggs went off, so I'm going to take this to the sink and drain the water off. When I'm peeling eggs, I like to first crack it on the fatter part of the egg. If you look at an egg, it's got a pointy end and a rounder spot. So that round part opposite of the pointy tip is where the air sac is inside the egg. And I find that if I crack that part first, I have an easier time peeling the egg. So I'm going to crack that, and you can see that it's kind of hollow in there. And then I'm going to just give it a roll, and the peel just kind of pops off of the egg. That's it. Sometimes I will store my eggs in the fridge with the shell still on, but I do find that they peel a little easier if I peel them shortly after I've cooked them. If you're not eating your hard-boiled eggs right away, they recommend that you should store them for no longer than a week in the fridge. Try to use them up within a week in order for them to maintain their freshness. That doesn't matter whether they're peeled or unpeeled. They will keep fresh for about the same amount of time. The benefit of storing them in their shell is that they won't change shape, whereas if I were to put these in the fridge now, and I've already peeled them, they're gonna get some flat spots from where they've been pressing up against each other and up against the container. So if that matters to you, if you're making deviled eggs or something and you want them to be nicely shaped, store them with their shell on and then peel them right before you're going to use them. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope this was helpful to you, and I'm curious to know what you like using your Instant Pot for. What are the things that make you hang on to it if you have one? I don't think that anybody uses it every day. If you do, I'm really curious what you use it for, because there must be a lot of things I'm not doing, but I'm curious. Let me know, and I will see you guys next time.